There's something people never explain about walking away. Something that only happens in the quiet, in the space you create when you stop chasing, stop explaining, and finally let go. And if you're serious about understanding this, subscribe right now. Because what I'm about to share isn't surface level advice. This is deep psychology most men never learn, and once you see it, you won't forget it. Let's talk about what really happens when you disappear. Not fake disappearing, not mind games, not silence used as manipulation. I'm talking about real no contact, the kind where you actually move forward. You're not staring at your phone. You're not checking her social media late at night. You're not asking mutual friends about her. You're genuinely gone. And here's the first truth you need to understand. Women don't come back because you ignored them. They come back because you changed. Because something shifted inside you. Because the man who walked away is no longer the man she left. When most men lose a woman, they panic. They chase harder. They explain more. They apologize for things that weren't even their fault. They shrink themselves trying to meet her expectations. And every message, every call, every emotional plea does one thing. It confirms her decision to leave. Because she watches you prove that you need her more than you need yourself. And nothing destroys attraction faster than that. But when you truly go silent, when you actually step back, something very different happens in her mind. At first, there's relief. She feels free. She tells herself she made the right choice. She convinces herself she's happier without you. Maybe she even celebrates, talks to her friends, posts about new beginnings, self-love, growth. And that's fine. Let her, because that stage doesn't last. What comes next is curiosity. She starts wondering what you're doing, why you haven't reached out, why you didn't try to win her back like the others did. And this question starts eating at her, because women are used to men chasing, used to being pursued, used to being the center of attention. When that attention disappears completely, it creates a void. And that void gets loud. She begins asking herself questions. Did I really matter to him? Is he already over me? Did he move on that fast? Is there someone else? Notice what's happening. You're not doing anything. You're just absent. But in that absence, she's creating stories. Stories where you're the main character. And this is where most men misunderstand no contact. They think it's about making her miss them. It's not. It's about becoming someone worth missing. There's a huge difference. If you're sitting at home waiting for her text, you've already lost. If you're checking whether she viewed your story, you've already lost. If your life is frozen until she comes back, you've already lost. Because she'll feel it. Women have an instinct for this. They can sense when your silence is fake, when your absence is strategic, when you're pretending to move on instead of actually moving on. That version never works. Real no contact means real detachment. It means redirecting your focus back to yourself, back to your mission, back to the life you were supposed to be building before she became your entire world. And this is where the real change happens. Not because of a trick, but because you're finally doing what you should have done all along. Choosing yourself, rebuilding your identity, strengthening your frame, reclaiming your masculine core. And when a man does this genuinely, he becomes magnetic, not just to her, but to everyone. Because a man who knows his worth, who doesn't need validation, who isn't afraid to stand alone, carries a presence you can feel. Now let's look at what's happening on her side. After curiosity comes comparison. She starts looking at the men around her, the ones giving her attention now, the ones trying to replace you. And something feels wrong. They're too eager, too available, too desperate to please. They don't challenge her. They don't carry themselves the way you did. They don't have that same certainty, that same grounded presence. And this is where psychology takes over. Her memory begins to shift. The arguments fade. The reasons she left become less clear. What she remembers instead are the moments you led, the times you stood firm, the way you made her feel secure. Not safe as in comfortable, safe as in she could relax into your strength. And that's when a painful realization starts to form. She might have made a mistake. Now here's something important you need to understand. None of this is guaranteed. Some women never come back, and that's okay, because real no contact was never about getting her back. It was about becoming a man who no longer needs her back. And here's an uncomfortable truth most men avoid. The version of you she left, she was right to leave him. That man was likely too available, too accommodating, too willing to sacrifice his boundaries just to keep her happy. He placed her on a pedestal, made her the prize, made her the mission. And in doing that, he slowly lost her respect. Women don't want to be your entire world. They want to be part of your world. There's a difference. When she becomes your whole life, you shrink. When she becomes an addition to your life, you expand. And expansion is attractive. Desperation isn't. So when you go no contact and actually build yourself, you're not playing a game. You're correcting a core mistake. You're remembering that you matter too. That your time matters, your energy matters, your peace matters. And any woman who wants access to those things needs to earn it. Not through manipulation, not through words, but through respect, effort, and reciprocity that matches yours. Now here's where many men fail. She reaches out. Maybe it's a casual text, something light, something that seems harmless. And the man immediately jumps. He replies too fast, slips right back into old habits, starts chasing again. And just like that, all progress disappears because she wasn't reaching out for comfort. She was testing to see if you really changed or if the silence was temporary. If you were still the same man she could control, your response tells her everything. If you respond with neediness, she knows nothing changed. If you respond with cold games, she knows you're pretending. But if you respond from genuine groundedness, that's different. You're not distant, you're not desperate, you're calm, centered, present. You engage on your terms. You're friendly but boundaried. Open but not overly available. And that communicates one powerful message. I'm good either way. I'm not waiting for you. I'm not against you. I'm living my life. And if you want to be part of it, you're welcome, but I don't need you to be. That frame changes everything, because now it's no longer about convincing her. It's about being the kind of man she naturally wants to be around, the kind she regrets losing, the kind she compares every other man to. Now let's go deeper into why this works. On a biological level, women are drawn to strength, not physical strength alone, but emotional stability. Purpose, self-respect, direction. When you chase, you signal weakness. You signal that she's more valuable than you, that you need her more than she needs you. And instinctively, women pull away from that energy. It's not conscious, it's wired. But when you walk away with dignity, you signal abundance. You signal options. You signal self-value. You show that you respect yourself enough to leave disrespect behind. And that triggers something primal. She starts seeing you as higher value, as someone worth competing for, as someone who won't accept scraps. That's when the dynamic flips. Now she's wondering if she's good enough for you. Now she's initiating contact. Now she wants your time, your attention, your approval. All because you stopped fighting for someone who wasn't fighting for you. You stopped negotiating your worth. You stopped shrinking. You chose your mission. But here's the part nobody warns you about. By the time she comes back, you might not want her anymore. And that's not failure, that's growth, because real no contact changes you. It forces you to face why you were so attached, why you tolerated disrespect, why you abandoned yourself. And when you answer those questions honestly, you realize you were operating from scarcity, from fear of being alone, from believing she was your only option. But when you build yourself, scarcity disappears. You start seeing options everywhere. You start respecting yourself. You start realizing the right woman won't make you chase, beg, or prove yourself. She'll see your value and choose you willingly. And if the woman who left doesn't return with that energy, you won't want her back anyway. Because you've outgrown the version of yourself that needed her validation. You've become a man who validates himself, who knows his worth without approval, who can stand alone and feel complete. And ironically, that's the most attractive place you can be. So let's bring it all together. Women come back after no contact because they feel the shift. They sense that you're different, that you're not waiting, not orbiting their life, not hoping for scraps. You're building, focused, grounded, and that energy is rare. Most men collapse when a woman leaves. Most men beg, plead, negotiate. Most men make themselves small. You didn't. You walked away. You chose yourself. You became more. And that changes everything. But remember this final truth. Her coming back isn't the goal. You becoming the man who doesn't need her to come back, that's the goal. Because when you reach that place, you win either way. If she returns, you decide if she deserves the new you. If she doesn't, you've already moved on to a better life. You're no longer reactive, no longer desperate, no longer lost without her. You're grounded, purpose-driven, self-directed, and that's the real power of no contact. It was never about her. It was about reclaiming yourself, your time, your energy, your masculine frame. And when you do that, everything else falls into place. So if you're in this phase right now, stay strong. Don't break silence for validation. Don't check if she misses you. Don't post hoping she notices. Disappear into your purpose. Build a man you respect. And watch what happens, not just with her, but with your entire life. Because a man on a mission is unstoppable, and that's exactly who you're becoming. If this resonated, if you're committed to growth and self-respect, subscribe to this channel. I'll be here breaking down the psychology, the truth, and the principles that actually work. This is your journey. Own it.